Guys, Ray from Mojave RV. So I just have an update as promised on this SimPure water purification machine. It's a portable machine that can do reverse osmosis. It also has a carbon composite filter and built-in UV light for purification. So it's kind of a cool machine. In the original video, which I'll link back to, I took it all apart and went through and explained the operation. And we tested it out on some water when I was in Mojave, California. And its parts per million of total dissolved solids on my little tester here came out around 800 or 900. It's really got alkali, kind of calcium, a lot of calcium and salts in the water. And this thing put it down somewhere in, right now it's showing low 20s. So it basically gets rid of all the dissolved solids, which is a good thing and a bad thing because, you know, when you're drinking water, good minerals is good for you, so taking them all out can be a problem as well. Personally, I didn't carry it in the RV and use it because of the size. So this is a typical RV kitchen counter. I don't really have enough room to have this thing sitting out. I was able to store and carry it under the sink. It just barely fit under the sink. That's where I've been taking it. But like I said in the original video, I left it with my friends who live in Mojave, and they said, you know, use it. If it works for you, you can have it. When I got back after several months, it was all back in its box and in the guy's garage, so that tells you something. They didn't really find it useful. They drink a lot of bottled water, and one person said this kind of tasted metallic-y to them. It does taste a little different when you strip all the minerals away. It's kind of a really flat taste. And then the other person just complained that even in their house it was just too large for the counter. They didn't like having that much space taken. So there you go. It does seem to work. Removes the solids. It's still working. I've just been testing it here. Ran it through its cycle and filled it full of water. And it seems to be working fine. I think what I'm going to do, though, I wanted to take it apart again because someone asked about the LED purification light in there and where was it. And my original video, I didn't really find it exactly, so I want to take it apart and see if we can find where that LED light is. And then we'll also talk a bit about the filters that this thing uses. As I had a little complaint, I noticed a comment about this company not being able to provide their filters. So we'll have a look at those filters and see if they're available from an aftermarket company as well. So I'll peel the covers and we'll have a look for the LED light. At the bottom of the purified water reservoir, you can see a UV light shining upwards into the reservoir. There's a device located right at the bottom. Couple wires there. Looks like there's a nut on the bottom, a plastic nut, so I guess it could be changed. But these UV LED, they last quite a long time. Anyway, found it. So these are the filters. There's the RO one and the CF one. A quick look online and see if I can find these anywhere under an aftermarket name. Maybe they're kind of a standard type filter. Hopefully they're not proprietary. Anyway, they recommend them be changed every 6 months, give or take, depending on the quality of the water that goes through them. So here's a comment I got on my original video a few days ago. SimPure customer service is a horror show. They can't send filters on time and will lose them in shipping, and you can't get them to send your filters. So I said thanks for the feedback. I'd mention it in this update. I also felt they're based near Seattle, Washington, so I wouldn't think shipping out filters would be a problem. I'll link back to this video, 21 minutes, where I went through all the settings and everything, and we did tests and took it apart and gave you a look inside if you're interested. I did a quick search on Amazon and I found here's the composite filter, $23. So I could get it May 2nd. Here is the RO filter, $35. I could get it May 2nd as well. And on their website here, it shows that they have 336 units and 359 units. So I don't know what the problem is. Maybe that's just a one-off thing. I also did a search for that LED gizmo, and I found this, which looks awfully similar. You can see there's an LED inside this thing that screws into a reservoir. High-end grow static water purifier sterilization, blah blah blah. Very derp cheap stuff. So I think if you did have a problem, or they did need changed, it could be something that could be performed by someone who's a little handy DIY. Anyway, I'll probably end up giving this away to a fellow RVer I meet, because it's just too big for our RV, so I don't find myself being able to use it here, just because of counter space issue. Also, most of the year we're in pretty good water quality area in the Pacific Northwest, and I don't really need any sort of filters actually. And the filtration system I have on board, I have an LED purification and 4 stages of filtration, so our water's pretty good other than some salts, etc., but it hasn't seemed to bother us in the last few years. So kind of an interesting gadget, seems to work pretty good, but your mileage may vary whether you would need it or not. Till next time, Ray from loveyourrv.com. Any questions, just leave them in the comments. Till next time, cheers folks.